Hello everyone and welcome back to the OllywoodKnits podcast. I am Hillary Oliver and I'm coming to you from the Greater Toronto area. This is a podcast mainly about knitting, sometimes crochet, possibly weaving, I don't know, all about the fiber arts. Yeah, so I've got quite a bit to show you today, which I was not expecting, but I got a lot done in the past couple weeks. So I am so eager to share with you everything that I've managed to complete. And I think I'm going to start with socks. So I had a little bit of a plight with second sock syndrome. And I don't normally have second sock syndrome, but I did. I knit a beautiful pair of purple socks on my vacation. One sock, set it aside to do my Christmas socks, then Christmas passed, I only finished one sock. I had two pairs of socks that didn't have partners, or two projects, two whips of socks that didn't have partners, and that's not like me. I normally tackle one pair at a time. It is just the way I like to do things. I think I enjoy the process more, so it stressed me out. So I got them done. These are my first pair. These are my Christmas vanilla socks. So they're just plain, didn't do anything, let the yarn do all the work for me. Heel flap and gusset, plain simple toe. I love these. It's knit with Regia cotton and the color 02413. And they just reminded me of Christmas. They just spoke Christmas to me. And I love them. I didn't love knitting with the cotton, but honestly, it feels great once it's knit up. So here's proof that they are both done and ready to be worn. And I'm really excited to have a pair of Christmas socks. My second pair of socks, and these I knit on vacation, are these beautiful purple ribbed 3x1 sock, and I did the ribbing all the way around the foot. It's on the bottom, it's even in the gusset. I did ribbing everywhere for this sock, and it just kept it interesting. It broke up the monotony. It's covered in dog hair already. Wear them once and then there's dog hair woven in everywhere. It's worth it to have my dog, okay? These are amazing. I love knitting them. Fond memories of being on the beach in Dominican with these before I got terribly ill. But they're done now and I can wear them. And this is knit with Orange Octopus, which they're from Ottawa, I think. I discovered them at the Kawartha Fiber Festival. My favorite sock yarn of all time. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so plump. It's almost more of a sport weight. It's just so plump and soft and luxurious, and the colors are gorgeous. Cannot recommend enough. And this is Passionate Purple. My next finished object I am wearing. This is my finished Josephine scarf. It is beautiful. It is knit with Malabrigo Rios in the color Whole Grain and Aguas. And yeah, this is my first brioche project, and I mean, I'm not going to take it off because it's on and it's cozy and I like it. And it's just a plain, there's nothing else going on here but just a straight scarf. There's no increases, no decreases, no nothing. It's just learning brioche. It's perfect. Perfect project if you're kind of intimidated by brioche. I don't know why I was. It was so easy. I did not mess up once. Not once. I loved it. I love brioche. And now I want to tackle every single one of Andrea Mowry's brioche projects. Shawls. But I won't. Yet. I'll work on that. Absolutely love this. I want to wear this all the time. All the time. I'm very proud of it. The colors I'm obsessed with. So much so that I might be using Aguas in one of my whips. My next finished object is my muscle pearl beanie. So this year I was lucky enough to get to go to Rhinebeck, and I grabbed one of the Rhinebeck exclusive colorways from Miss Babs. It's Harvest Plenty. It is stunning. It is a stunning color, and it's very consistent even, you know, as the rows get smaller. It's just such a perfect yarn, perfect dye job for this hat. It's just wonderful. I love it so much. I measured, so I weighed my skein. I divided it by 2. So I just kept weighing it. When I got close to center, I just kept weighing it till I found that center gram weight, and then I marked it, and then I just literally counted my stitches like I would on socks. So every 10 rows I put a light bulb marker all the way to the end. I still ended up having like a little bit left over, so it was perfect. I didn't have quite enough to do a folded brim, but honestly, I really love it. I don't think I even need a folded brim. I actually really like this hat the way it is. And at first, I wasn't sure about this pattern. This is the, I did not mention it yet. Wow, great podcaster. This is the Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. I love it. And I can see why everyone's so addicted to them. One, it's so wearable. Like, I want to wear it all the time. It doesn't ruin my hair. Like, I can take it off, smooth it out. You know, a lot of hats do give you a hat head and ruin the locks. But not this one. Honestly, I wore it today, actually. We went out dress shopping for my flower girls, and I wore it. And yeah, I love it so much. And so I had quite a bit of a journey with this pattern. I cast it on, did all my increases on my double pointed needles, switched over to circulars, and then I did about 15-20 rows, and I was like, this sucks. I have so much just straight stockinette in the round, like for like 18 inches. I don't know how much, like it's a lot. And I just remember thinking, like, I'm never gonna finish this, but I really want the finished project. Like, I really, really want it, because I want to make a tradition where every year I go to Rhinebeck, I get an exclusive colorway. It doesn't have to be Miss Babs. It could be any other dyer there, that whatever one I like the most, I'm going to buy it on Sunday morning after I've seen them all on Saturday, buy it on Sunday morning, and then just cast on my Musselburgh or whatever other hat pattern I want to knit. Probably a Musselburgh, because I love double knit hats so much. I love the double layer. Anyway, I would love to knit a convertible, like reversible one, I guess. Reversible one. I have the perfect yarn to do that with. That might be a pattern that I do sometime in the near future, or maybe next. I don't know. Actually, not next. Maybe next. Moving on. I love it so much. I ended up, my fiance and I are like, you know, we're really focusing right now on eating healthy and, you know, exercising every day, whether that be, you know, a long walk together with the dog or going to the gym together. It's just nice to like get out and do something together, make a healthy meal together. Like, we're doing really, really well, and we feel great. We're sleeping better. Like, it's just wonderful. And it's nice to do those things together. And I've been, this is weird because I mean, this isn't done together, but I have been biking for like half an hour to an hour every day. And it's my zone 2 training for running without having to go outside. You know, I do it on my stationery. I could set up the iPad, watch some vlogs, and knit. So I don't have to, after like a 12-hour day at work, I don't have to come home and feel like I'm sacrificing, you know, one thing to do another thing, even though I want to do both. I can do both at the same time. So yeah, sitting there for an hour is so easy. It's easy. Like, I'm still dripping sweat, but that's okay because I'll block it and wash it. But yeah, I ended up knitting this so quickly. Like, once I really picked it up, I knit it, I like got it ready, like probably back in like October maybe. I think this might have been in my first video, which would have been back in October, end of October. So I think I cast this on a long time ago, didn't touch it for a couple months. I was doing Christmas knits and, you know, wrapping up some other projects. So I kind of thought I'd have this for much longer on my needles to like work on the bike. And now I don't. I don't have anything anymore. So now I'm like, I gotta get something else on the needles. This is like this kind of project, something that's like low stress. It's not something I desperately need super fast, it's also something that's easy enough that like it will get done. Yeah. I would like to knit another one. And I think I might actually cast one on this weekend. Maybe a reversible one. I have, one sec. So I have this yarn here from Color of My Fiber, and I did buy this to do a muscle burrow because I was going to split this skein into two and do 2 reversible hats with these. And then I decided I'm just going to do a double layer, just a whole, you know, whatever. If I end up getting it long enough to do a double brim, great. If I don't, so what? I actually discovered that I actually really like it without the double brim. I really like this just like this. I love it. I really do. And I love the size. I think I knit a size bigger than I needed. I have a 20-inch exactly head, and I think I knit for like, with my gauge, I think it was like a 21-inch. So it's not super, super tight, so it doesn't ruin the hair. I really like that. So I think I'm gonna do it again, but with these colors. This is like a tweedy green. It's so beautiful. It's a mountain view. It's stunning. And then this guy here is toffee, and it's also stunning. Excuse the dog hair. But I think they just look great together, and they would be a great reversible beanie, and I might even have enough to make 2. I'm gonna weigh them. I'm gonna wind them up. I'm gonna weigh them. Maybe I'll cast this on tomorrow because I really want to have, like, and I could just leave it on the bike. So I bought some bags. Wow, it's gonna be one of those episodes. Hi, I'm crazy. So I bought some bags, and I don't have them yet, so I won't say where they're from and all that stuff because I don't feel like doing that. But I will next time when I can show them. But I bought these, like, you know, the knitting bags you see that hang from arms. I bought a couple of those, and they're just gonna stay on my bike. Well, they don't have to stay on my bike, but I'm gonna at least have one of them stay on the bike so I can just come up with my knitting and just toss the skein into the bag and just pull from the bag, and it could just hang from the handle on the bike. I think I might make my muscle burr hats like just a bike thing because they're just so great, and I know I'm gonna wear them a lot. Like I'm gonna wear this a lot. Like I can wear it all fall, all winter, all spring. Probably not May, June, July, and August. Those will be like the 4, maybe 5 months if September's warm months of the year I don't wear it. But the other 7 months of the year, I'm gonna wear them. Yeah. New love. Muscle burrow hats. Well, I can see why it's such a popular pattern, and it's so well written. Like, it doesn't matter what your gauge is, you're gonna be able to be guided through a hat that's gonna fit you the way you want it to fit you. Easily. And there were so many times I second guessed. I would even take it off the needles. I would take my needles out, no lifeline, no nothing, and like put it on my head just to make sure because I was so skeptical, and it would be fine every time. And because it's stockinette, I can easily just insert my needles. If I drop a couple stitches, easy peasy to fix. So I think from now on, I'm just gonna like measure them all against this one because I love the fit of it. It's slightly slouchy. I love it. I love it so much. My new favorite FO. I mean, anyway. That concludes my finished object. So moving on to my whips. I am currently working on a new sweater. I know I said I was winding up my Malabrigo Rios for a Seasons cardigan by Ozetta, and I am going to knit that, I promise. It is on my list. I've swatched for the thing, okay? I have swatched for it. It is going to happen. It will happen. It's going to be beautiful. It's so soft. I love it. But not yet. Basically, I was going through all of my yarn and my finished projects and everything like that. I don't have many sweaters. Like I have like 3 sweaters in my stash, and I only like wearing one of them. And it's my first ever raglan that I intuitively knit. I didn't follow a pattern. I realized that I'd really like some pullovers. Like this is the time of year to wear pullovers. And in a few months when it gets a little bit warmer, that'll be time to wear the cardigan. So I know I wound it up. I know I've swatched, but I'm just not ready to cast on. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to say, hey, I don't want to knit this right now. I'd really like to knit something else. Which brings me to, I am working on the Felix Pullover by Amy Christoffers. I've seen Tayler from Wool Needle Hands do a knit along in the fall, and I wish I could have joined it, but I couldn't because I was knitting on my mother-in-law's arbor raglan for Christmas. So I really didn't have time to knit anything else. And this is the first sweater I've cast on since I finished her sweater. I cast this on last Saturday. It is now the following. It's been exactly 1 week since I've cast on. Cast on in the evening. It is now the evening. This is how much I have done. So I'm following the pattern, but I'm not following the pattern. I did twisted rib for the collar, and I think the pattern calls for like 6mm needles and worsted weight Aran weight yarn. That's not going to do it for me. I don't like a loose gauge. I work with acrylic and superwash yarns. Like, they stretch. And I mean, I've never had an issue with them stretching a ton. Like, I've never had a problem with any of my sweaters, even after washing them several times, stretching to the point where they don't fit anymore. Like, I've never had an issue with that. I am so meticulous with my knits. I'm so careful with them, even though I could throw some of them in the wash. But I ended up knitting this on 4.5mm needles, US 7s. And I did the collar, I think, on 4mm because twisted rib can really shrink. So I didn't want to go down too far, but I just knit this intuitively. Like, I just kept following the repeats until it was the depth that I wanted. And then knit to, she gives you like a measurement, like knit till it's this many inches from your cast on collar edge, and knit till it's that far down on the back side after you've done your short rows and all of your raglan increases. And so I just followed that. So I'm gonna get the same size that the pattern called for my bust with the right amount of ease, but I'm knitting at a way tighter gauge. So it's just gonna be that much more durable. Like, I know, like, it's still stretchy. Like, so I can't imagine what it would be like. Like, this yarn, I'm using Heartland, Lion Brand Heartland in Grand Canyon. And it's a gorgeous colorway. And before anyone asks me for using acrylic, I really believe the most sustainable approach to knitting is not only what you can afford, and yes, I can afford hand-dyed yarn, but not for every sweater I knit. I still have to be careful, as most people do in this day and age. And I still think like the most sustainable approach to knitting you can have is knitting what you already have. And I have 2 sweater quantities of this exact color in my stash. And I couldn't stop picturing this pattern in this color. So here it is. And I'm so excited about it. I've got these cute little fox needle stoppers, which I will link below. I don't actually know off the top of my head where they're from, but I got them on Etsy and I really like them. So yeah, it's a really pretty sweater, and I mean that's a week's worth of work, and I only did it like on Sunday and in the evenings on the weeknights and Saturday night. I haven't really knit on this much today at all. So maybe it'll be a 2-week sweater. My next project is my Cuatro Wrap, and this I have in my really beautiful bag. Again, don't know off the top of my head where I got this bag, which is, I think it's Sable Amer. Azzy, please stop, baby. This bag is from Sable Amer off of Etsy, and it's just a beautiful, nice size project bag for sweaters. I do plan on ordering, actually, they are the company that I ordered my hanging bags from for my bike, so very excited to receive that, and I'm sure it'll be here super soon because they're not too far away from me. Actually, they might even be Toronto. They might be Toronto. I could be wrong. They might be Toronto. I think they are Toronto. Anyway, if they are Toronto, they're just an hour south of me, and I'm so excited to get it. Less than an hour south of me. So I'm doing another Cuatro Wrap, and that's what's being housed in this. I've showed these colors before, but here it is. This is the color Choco from Malabrigo Arroyo, and this is Sandbank, which we know how obsessed I am with Sandbank. So I'm almost done my first triangle, and I'm kind of just going slowly. Like, I'm kind of just nursing this project because I know I love it. I know I'm gonna wear it. It's very easy. Not the easiest to travel with because you have to have 2 big cakes with you, but yeah, I love I think I don't remember what color I had. I had this other color to go with it that just wasn't quite green enough. I think it's called greenish blue, but it was more blue. And in this pattern, all the other colors are kind of leaning more warm. So I decided to switch to Aguas, which is this color here. It is just the most beautiful deep green. I love it so much. So yeah, I've ordered that from Jimmy Bean's Wool, which shipping was ridiculous. I mean, that I paid $60. I paid double price for 1 skein of Arroyo because no one in Canada seemed to have this color, Aguas. So yeah, I'm waiting for that, which means because of the way the color transitions through this wrap, I have to, and it's the Cuatro Wrap by Joji Locatelli. I don't know if I said that. It's my second time knitting this pattern. I knit my first one over Christmas and I love it so much. I get so many compliments on it, so I just had to knit a second one. I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the product. That's just the perfect lineup to do it twice. So yeah, so I'm waiting for that. I can finish knitting this triangle, and then I can also, which is the first one, and then I can also knit the last one because it doesn't use Aguas. It uses the rest of the Choco color and the other color, which is Tranquilo, I think. It's like a purplish, it's a multicolor one. It's beautiful. So yeah, so I can get those 2 done, have them blocked and ready to be seamed together once I finish the other 2. So I can't start using, the other 2 are Sandbank and Aguas, and so I can't knit those 2 triangles until I get Aguas. So I'm waiting. It might still be a couple weeks. So yeah, it's got to go from USPS to Canada Post to me. So I'm waiting. I'm very excited. But I've got lots on my needles to keep me busy. I'm probably going to cast on another muscle burrow. I probably will do it this weekend, get through all the increases so I can just have it on the needles and ready to go. Whip is right here. This is the beginning of my wedding shawl. I had spoken last time about the drops brushed alpaca silk right here in this color that matches my bridesmaid dresses so perfectly. I cast it on to do the botanical lace wrap by Pearl Soho. Not happening. One, with the fuzzy yarn, you can't even see the motif, the lace motif at all. And that lace motif is a lot of work to achieve. So if I'm literally knitting so intensely on something that's just not showing at all, what's the point? And 2, it sucks to knit with alone. It's not fun. I don't know if all mohair is like that. I'm not someone who generally knits with mohair. So I just scrapped it. I decided, you know, we're gonna figure out something else. I searched far and wide for like a lace weight or very light fingering weight yarn that would match, that would be soft and drapey and match that sage color, and it was very difficult. So I ended up settling on Sandbank, and this is Malabrigo Mechita, which is their fingering weight. It's very thin, light fingering, single ply yarn, so it has a little bit of a halo to it. It is gorgeous. I have decided to not do the botanical lace wrap, and I've decided to design my own lace Wrap. So lace shawl. So my wedding colors are very simple. I have my my ladies' dresses this color, and then my flowers are like white roses with lots of ivy, like deep rich green ivy, and the odd contrast of like a blush pink rose, like a beigey pink, which is literally like sandbank. So I think it's going to tie in perfectly. My flower girl dresses we purchased today, and they are also like a blush pink, kind of whitish blush pink kind of color. So it's perfect. It's perfect. It's the color of the year for me. I have 2 sweater quantities in this. I've used it in countless projects this year. I plan to use it in, I really want to knit the Dustland cowl by Stephen West, and I really want to knit it with Malabrigo Arroyo Sandbank or whole grain, which is this one here, which is a little bit lighter, which I think might be the better option, but I love it. I don't know what to say. Like, it's just my color. It's my color. It's so beautiful. Anyway, when I knit more on that, you'll be able to see the actual lace motif form. I'm really proud of it. I haven't gotten through, it's an 8-row repeat, and I haven't gotten through to like the 10th row to make sure that, you know, the transition between the 8-row repeat actually works and everything looks great. I can't see much of the lace forming yet because I'm only a few rows into the lace pattern, but it's a work in progress. But I think once I get going on it, I'm really going to enjoy it more. But I think if I do publish a pattern for this shawl, I'm probably going to do it in more of a sport to DK weight and just downsize the stitch count. I don't, like, it's gonna be a long knit. Like, it's gonna be an investment. I'm 4 months out today from my wedding, so I don't have that much time. I just don't see a lot of people wanting to knit a lace rectangle wrap that doesn't have a lot of shaping, that isn't like, it's not unique, but it's very beautiful, and I'm very proud that I was able to create it myself. I just don't see a lot of people wanting to invest the amount of time and effort that a pattern like this is going to take with such a fine yarn. So I think I am going to write it for more sport DK weight, something that, you know, takes 3 skeins and can be whipped up in like a month or 2, rather than like, this is probably going to take 4 months, and I'm probably going to have to, you know, focus less on all these other things that I really want to knit and focus more on that. I think like April, when April hits and I still have like a ball and a half, or I'm only halfway through that, I'm going to have to really focus on it to make sure it's done for the big day. So yeah, but I am really happy that I settled on that yarn, which leads me to my future cast-ons. Besides, you know, the one that I've already talked about, my next Musselburgh hat, I have 10 skeins of this, 10 donuts, I guess, of this, that, I mean, I keep thinking there's dog hair on it. It's not, it's actually the alpaca. I have 10 skeins of this, and I don't really know what to do with it. I'm contemplating getting some variegated, maybe slightly speckled, beautiful yarn from Color of My Fiber in either their Thinkering or Sport Weight, and doubling it up with this and doing a really nice, maybe like a novice, right? I don't know, a cardigan. I don't know what to do. I've never knit with like doubled up mohair or Surrey or whatever you want to call this. I've never done that before, but I want to use it. I really like it. I really, really like it. I just don't like knitting with it on its own. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure this out. What I'm thinking, I'm gonna use this skein. I have 10 of them. I figured I can spare one to do a pair of fire pit mitts by Tayler Earl over at Wool Needle Hands. Wool Needles Hands? Wool Needle Hands. That sounds weird. Wool Needles Hands. Yeah. I'm going to pair it with my Sport / DK from Color of My Fiber in the Mosaic colorway. It's this just beautiful, and this came out of my Inclinations cowl that I decided to frog. It just wasn't giving me joy, and I put it down back in November to do all my Christmas knits and get those done. I just wasn't enjoying it like I enjoyed the Inclinations shawl. Like, I loved knitting the shawl. I did it twice. So yeah, I just decided, you know what, that the purple yarn that I had in there is from Miss Babs. It's the yarn that I had a dream about the Saturday night, had to return the Sunday to find it at Rhinebeck. It is special to me. It's one of those yarns that just makes me like, I'm in love with it. Like, I get those feelings of love when you look at your partner. Like, that's what I get when I look at this yarn. It's crazy, it's weird. I dream about it. So I want to do something special with it. So I ripped it out, I put it back in the stash. I'll find a project for that. That means a lot to me. I could even knit it into a muscle burrow, which might be what I do. Maybe. That might be what I do. Okay, well, I'm gonna do fire pit mitts with these, and I think I'm really going to love them. Yeah. I do. I think I'm gonna love them, and we'll see how I feel about knitting double before I invest in a sweater quantity of yarn. Yeah, and if not, then I'll have to do a destash. If I don't like knitting double, like, I'm sure I can get through a pair of fingerless mitts, but I don't know if I'll like it enough knitting with it to get through a sweater. So if I don't, that's fine. We'll destash. We can do that. So my next future cast on is going to be another Felix Pullover, because I loved knitting the one I have now so much that I thought, you know, I knit an Inclination shawl with the Cascade 220 Superwash Waves yarn probably a year and a half ago. And ever since I knit that, I've said to myself, I want to knit a sweater. So I picked some up. This is the colorway blue, shocker. It's beautiful, it's lovely, and I'm going to knit a Felix Pullover with it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I think it's gonna be great. I am hoping within the week I'll be done with my beige one, and I can cast this one on as soon as I'm done. Then when I get through that, I will cast on my Seasons cardigan, because I would like to have this for, like, we've got some like outdoor wedding related stuff in April and early May. I would like to have my cardigan by then, because I think it would go really, really nicely with, like, I have a couple of white dresses that I'm going to wear for wedding related events. I have a Jack and Jill and a shower and other kind of, you know, what's the night before thing? The rehearsal dinner? That thing. I'm a great bride. Yeah, so I would really like to wear this with a couple of my white dresses, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a crazy whirlwind the next 4 months, but I'm going to try and get as much knitting in as I can, because it's what brings me joy. It's what keeps me riding my bike, and I'm just in a really good place right now. I'm really happy. I'm really excited for what the future is going to bring in the next year, in the next 4 months. So yeah, I thank you so much if you've made it this far in this video. It was a little bit quick and fast and, you know, crazy, but yeah, I'm just overwhelmed in a good way, and I'm really excited for the future, and I'm going to do my best to upload every couple weeks here, because I am knitting like a machine, and I want to share all of the things while they're fresh in my mind and I know what to say, because I feel like some of these things, some of these finished objects, like, I don't really have much to say about them anymore because I knit them so long. It feels like I knit them so long ago. My second pair of my socks, like I did them in a week. Second week of January, I smashed those out and it felt great. Like I felt so, like I went through a cleaning frenzy in my house too. It just felt good to get two like kind of lingering projects out of the way, to get those whips gone. But yeah, I really appreciate you hanging around, sticking out, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please feel free to give me a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you're knitting on right now. Maybe, you know, if there's anything I mentioned, any patterns I mentioned here that you really like or have knit and enjoyed, let me know. I would love to discuss that with you. And yeah, so thanks guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.